Hello students. In this video, we will be discussing about a very powerful and useful language VB.NET. But before we start with VB.NET, we need to know what is .NET. .NET Framework. It is a software platform or a runtime execution environment along with various services and rich class of libraries for the development of the software. See, in this point, by platform, we mean we can do software coding, debugging, testing, etc. under the .NET framework environment. And this platform gives various services and libraries, which makes easy and fast development of the software, as we can get ready-made inbuilt tools for the developers. It is language independent, that is, it is not a language, but it supports multiple languages. How it supports multiple language? By providing an environment to run multiple languages. As our computer does not understand VB.NET, ASP, etc. But the .NET framework acts as a mediator between the operating system and these multiple languages. It is developed by Microsoft and it is a part of Microsoft Visual Studio.NET. Now, why .NET is so popular? First of all, language independent. That is, it supports multiple languages. It is not stuck to some particular one language. It supports multiple language, as we have already discussed that it is not the language, it supports multiple language, and we will discuss later also in its architecture also. Next point, operating system and device independent. It is platform independent. That is, softwares can be developed for any type of operating system and devices. For example, Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, etc. It acts as an intermediate. Network framework plays a role of an intermediate between the operating system and the .NET languages for developing application. Because our computer does not understand these languages, say for example VB.NET, ASP, etc. and the .NET acts as an intermediator between the operating system and the languages, as we have discussed it before also. So now let's come to the .NET framework architecture. Now, at the top, we have all the languages supported by .NET. See here, C#.NET, VB.NET, ASP.NET, and so many other languages which are being supported by .NET. So before developing programs, we have to select any one of the languages to be used for the software development. Now, in the next layer, we have CLS, that is Common Layer Specification. In this, we consider common concepts of various different languages. Say, for example, object concept, which is same for C#, VB.NET, etc. And all these languages have different syntax, but same object concepts. So, we have to bring many different languages to some common ground by using this CLS. Then next layer is ASP.NET and Windows Forms. Now this layer is responsible for development of software and web applications or websites using various tools. Now in Windows, we often see that everything is in the form of windows, buttons, etc. And we will find the various tools and services in this layer through Windows Forms. In other words, we can say it helps in user interface development in Windows. Similarly, various forms and elements in websites can be designed through this layer. Now, the next layer is ADO.NET and XML. Now, this layer is responsible for connectivity between the application and the databases. That is, it stores data permanently in the database. For example, if we develop a program and wants to be stored in some database like SQL Server, MySQL, MSSX, access, etc. For that, we have to use this layer. So this layer is purely for data connectivity with your applications. Now the next layer is BCL, that is Base Class Library. This layer provides wide range of inbuilt functions and classes. It is a common library. For example, as we can use inbuilt functions and classes available in BCL directly. For that, there is no need to make our programs. Now, the next layer is CLR. This is Common Language in Runtime. Common Language Runtime. This layer is responsible for conversion of intermediate layer to machine language. Now, it is inbuilt component in the .NET framework. It converts intermediate language, that is IL, to your machine code language. Now, what is IL? We'll discuss it later also, but let me explain in a brief that IL is, suppose you are choosing any one of these languages. Now, this language is being converted into IL by their respective compilers. Suppose we are choosing VB.NET, then that compiler will convert VB.NET code firstly into IL, intermediate language, then IL get converted into machine language with the help of JIT, that is a part of CLR, into the machine language, which is being understood by the operating system. So ultimately, these languages get converted into machine code with the help of CLR. So CLR is an inbuilt component of the .NET framework. It converts IL to machine code, and just-in-time compiler is a part of CLR. This CLR also helps in memory management, that is allocates or deallocates memory. Then it is a class loader. It acts as a class loader. If we are developing a program and we want to make use of inbuilt classes, then CLR loads these classes into the RAM. So then after that, the code is transferred to your operating system. So all these languages supported by .NET are integrated into one, that is Visual Studio.